Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Darwindows, where we take cool species and we explain them to you in a fun way. As you may have already noticed, yes, this video will be in English and so will future videos. Thank you for understanding. The spotted lanternfly, or the Lycorma delicatula, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, or to be short, the SLF, is an insect that belongs to the true bugs group, also known as the Hemiptera. They're also part of the plant hoppers. The plant hoppers have two characteristics. First of all, they're very slow at walking. Also, they do fly, but not like other insects. They're really bad at flying. So what they do is they hop and they glide from plant to plant to get their food or whatever else they would need. The SLF originates from Vietnam and China, and we can find them in Asian countries as well as the United States. So France can rest assured for now. The spotted lanternfly, just like a Pokemon, goes through a lot of different changes. The spotted lanternfly has one generation per year via incomplete metamorphosis. During this generation, it has 4 immature development stages or instars before they become adults. During this immature stage, they're called a nymph. So the first, second, and third instar nymphs are black with white spots, and the fourth instar nymphs have striking reddish-orange bodies with black and white spots. It's only once they become adults that they get their wings. Their forewings look gray, but once they extend their wings, you can see their red, white, and black hindwings, which look pretty cool. Their wings make them pretty easy to recognize. However, seeing one is not usually a good sign, and I'll tell you why. During the majority of its life cycle, the SLF has a distinctive feature. All plant hoppers have a distinctive mouth type, which is the rostrum. This acts as a sort of straw to pierce the plant and drink the phloem. This leads to our main topic, they suck. I mean this both ways. They suck in the sense where, yes, they use their mouth as a straw to drink the sap out of the plant, but this sucks for everyone else due to the fact that when they do this, it leaves a hole in the plant. Leaving a hole in the plant leads the sap to leak out, and this will attract other insects such as bees, but it also attracts mold and fungi, which can cause plant diseases but also plant deaths. This is bad for humans because humans cultivate plants. More specifically, humans cultivate grapes in the forms of vineyards, and these insects love vineyards. All the farmers listening to this podcast right now are trembling in their feet, especially in France, at the idea of these insects coming to the country. But then again, you might ask yourself, why is the SLF such a huge threat, right? I mean, there's other insects who do the same. Why does this specific insect have such a huge impact on the economy? The answer to that question is very simple. The SLF is an invasive species. So as I said previously, they have one generation per year. But during this generation, each couple lays 30 to 50 eggs. So if you do the math, which I don't like math, so I'm not going to do it, but you'll easily understand that they reproduce very quickly and in large numbers. To give you some details, in the state of Pennsylvania alone, in the United States, they lose up to $324 million per year. That's insane. So if they have that much effect on one state in the United States, imagine the impact on all of the United States and in Asia. Now, with everything that I've told you, imagine how bad it would be if this insect lands in France, one of the world leaders in wine production. You can start crying now. Just to make things worse for you guys, so you can be a little more scared, this insect tends to reproduce on a tree called the tree of heaven. The tree of heaven, which comes from China, is also an invasive species. Yay! So, to make things worse, this tree smells really bad. A lot of people tend to say it smells either like peanut butter, old peanut butter, or well-worn gym socks. Which one do you prefer? I hate both. But this could be beneficial to the SLF, which reproduces on this tree. One invasive species reproducing on another one brings them both benefits, making it a vicious cycle.
So now what? I'm sure you're terrified and you're lost. You don't know what to do with all this information. Well, I'll tell you. You see one, you murder it. And I'm not even kidding. Most sources say that you have to get rid of it as soon as you see it, or it's just gonna get worse and worse. So now let's get to the fun part. How can you murder it? Well, if you're creative, you can use your hand, your feet, a sword, a spear, an axe. You can bash it with a shield. You can set everything on fire, but that's probably not a good idea. Or if you see an egg mass, what you could do is put it in a bag of alcohol. Now, if murder isn't your thing, well, what some farmers do is they control the population with other species, or to be more specific, with predators. So some farmers would put praying mantis in their farms, which would then eat most of the SLF and control the populations. The problem this could cause is that the praying mantis might end up eating other species in the vicinity. So if it were up to me, I would just take out my sword and start swinging. But what would you do? Let me know in the comments. It's also recommended to take down any tree of heaven that you see around you. Taking away the tree from which these insects lay their eggs would also have a big impact on the population. So fear not, fellow listeners, we will win this war. To my listeners in France, more specifically my university, don't fear, as they're not in France yet. But they might be, so be prepared and take out your weapons. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Please let us know what else you'd like us to talk about, and we'll definitely get it done. Oh, and please comment your weapon of choice. And on the next podcast episode, before it begins, I'll let you know the one that I like the most. Once again, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.